Hi everyone, welcome to Love Good Kitchen. My name is Matthew. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to be preparing what I think is intended to be an appetizer or possibly a side dish. I'm preparing it for our evening meal as our main entree, and I have some other things to go with it that I'll talk about a little bit later, but it is a creamy crab Rangoon dip. Crab Rangoon, of course, being that tasty Chinese American side that oftentimes we get with our Chinese takeout food, which is a crispy wonton filled with a cream cheese, crab, onion filling. So this is a take on that, and I think it's going to be really good. We'll see how it goes. I have not tried this before, so again, you're along for the ride as I do a test, but I don't see how it can be bad. We'll see. Okay, so I have a 1.5 quart baking dish here. This happens to be enameled cast iron, so the inside is glazed. I love this pan. It's beautiful. It's a Pampered Chef pan, but I have lightly spritzed that with some nonstick cooking spray to get us started. And now that I think of it, I do need to get our oven preheated to 350, so let me do that. Get that going. And so now let's get started. First of all, we're going to mix together, we're essentially going to mix everything together and then put it into our baking dish. This is, what is this? This is 6.5 ounces of a spreadable cheese, and I think the original recipe calls for a garlic and herb flavor of spreadable cheese. This is peppercorn parmesan because that's what I could find at the store. I still think it's going to be good no matter what flavor we use. Set that over here. So we're going to get this into a bowl. Spoon here. Okay. So, as I've said before, don't worry about trying to write down the recipe or the amounts or products as you watch this video, because if you are interested in giving this recipe a try, I will have the ingredients and the recipe listed down below in the description box. Okay, so there is our spreadable cheese spread, and then we need to add a 1/4 cup of sour cream. You know, I'm going to get another spoon. So I don't get peppercorn parmesan in my container of sour cream. Okay, that looks good. 1/4 cup. And then to that, we also need to add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. I don't want it to go all splashing out at once. Okay, there's 1, and our maybe. Are we stuck? There we go. And 2. Don't want to waste any of that cheese. Okay. Over here, we also need 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. Now this happens to be Fiesta blend, which I think is intended for Mexican food, but I think it's going to be fine. That's what I happen to have had in the fridge. The recipe calls for a shredded Italian blend. Whatever. We're going multicultural today. That in. Good. Lost a couple pieces of cheese here. Okay. And then, next up, I have an 8-ounce, which is half a pound package of, this is imitation crab. This is the, what is this? The flake style. They also have the chunk style. It doesn't really matter because what we're going to do is chop this up pretty small so that it's easier to dip things into our dip once it's baked. I'm using this because I'm frugal and I can't really afford real crab, but if you are able to get your hands on 8 ounces of real flaked crab, that's great. I thought I do have a knife here. I'm going to get this chopped up pretty small. I don't think it's going to take very long. This is, probably says somewhere on the package, imitation crab is actually, I want to say pollock or some kind of white fish that has flavorings and other stuff in it to make it crab-like. My friend Adam and I, we call this K-Rab because some brands' imitation crab is spelled K-R-A-B. But depending on what recipe you're making, what time of year, what the current world state of affairs is, etc., real crab can be on the pricey side. So I'm opting for this version. Okay, it's already looking pretty good. Got a few larger chunks left I need to take care of. I've got some jumpers today going off my cutting board. Probably should have used my larger chef's knife. It has the longer blade and I would be able to get a wider angle, but it's okay. Okay, that about does it. So got off my knife into my dip mixture. I did wash my hands right before I started this video, so in case I have any trolls out there, rest assured. Oh, we've got a piece down here. Okay, now let's see if we can get this all in the bowl. To use the knife, that makes more sense, doesn't it? Don't want to waste any. Okay. off my hands. Okay, we are going to put in some chopped green onions. Let's see, I think it's 2 tablespoons they recommend. Yeah, 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to do a little extra so we can sprinkle some on the top once it's out of the oven and baked. Let's see here. Seems like it'll be good. Let me bring my garbage bowl over here a little closer. Excuse me. Okay. I know there are various methods for chopping green onions. I like to line them up. I don't know, hopefully you can see. I have the ends all lined up even, and then I can just chop off the little root side. That one, that leaf doesn't seem great. And then I know you can eat the green parts, but the parts up here at the top, they're kind of fibrous, so I don't always love to use that part. So I trimmed that off, and then that's it. We just slice them up. I'm doing 2 or 3 held together, chopped at a time. On a stem, what would you call that? Maybe something. Okay, got those. We'll do these 3. What are you having for dinner today? Is it something similar? Are you doing Asian American fare? If you're having something interesting, leave us a note in the comments below. Me and your fellow viewers would love to know. We're always looking for inspiration, right? We like to switch it up here at our house. Sometimes we have breakfast for dinner. Sometimes we have things that would be typically for lunch for dinner. Sometimes we have things like this, which is, I guess, technically an appetizer. We have it for dinner. So, you know, whatever the mood strikes us. Okay, I'm going to put in there. I'll leave those to sprinkle on the top once we're done. Set that over here. Oh yes, and I have 2 spoons going. Let's put that one over here, and I'm just gonna mix this together. Kind of smushing and folding and stirring. The spreadable cheese, it is spreadable, but you do have to kind of work it a little bit so that it can all come together. Okay. I will say that due to the Worcestershire sauce, the color is kind of interesting. It's sort of a tan light brown, but I don't think it really matters because once it bakes up and comes out of the oven, we're going to put a sauce on it on the top, as well as sprinkle those remaining sliced green onions in. So I think it'll be okay, but just an observation. So we're going to put that in our bowl. And we'll kind of spread it out here so it's more even at the bottom of our dish that we have spritzed with nonstick cooking spray. But speaking of what's for dinner, that will be coming up in a future video. I'm going to show you my process for planning our weekly menus and grocery list, because number one, I think you may find it entertaining and interesting, but also maybe it will help you if at times you struggle to come up with fresh ideas or organize yourself and your grocery list for what you're going to do for the week. So look forward to that coming soon. Okay, let me take a peek here at the recipe. I want to make sure that I didn't skip anything by accident. Okay, we did that. Okay, I think we got it, but one thing we are going to put on the top before we put in the oven, let me add a cheese finger there. We are going to sprinkle the top with a little more of that cheese blend before we bake it. And I want the top covered, but I don't think you want a really thick layer of cheese on top, because then when you're dipping into it, when you're eating it or serving it, if the cheese layer is too thick, then it's going to be hard to break through and it becomes a problem, which we don't want. So we want it cheesy, but not difficult. How about that? All right, so here we go. We've got our crab Rangoon dip. I'm going to put it into the oven, which is preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to let it bake. It's going to get bubbly and yummy for about 20 minutes or so. And then I'll bring you back and we'll check out the next step. Okay, we're back. The creamy crab Rangoon dip was in the oven for about 20 minutes. It's melty and bubbly, looking yummy. Okay, so to finish it up, what we're gonna do is, well, the recipe calls for drizzling some, what does it say? Some Thai style sweet chili sauce. I did not have any of that. I couldn't find any at the store, but I did find this sweet and sour sauce. If you wanted to, you could doctor this a little bit, maybe add some soy sauce or Worcestershire to it to change it up a little bit. Or if you didn't have any of those, you could do a combination of like a regular chili sauce, add in some soy sauce, maybe some garlic, that would work. Or I think in the fridge I actually have some General Cho's sauce that you could add some chili sauce to, or there are different things you could do. I think all of them would work and be just fine. So I'm gonna drizzle on some of this. This happens to be Berman's, which is the Aldi brand, but we're gonna drizzle, maybe. Are we gonna drizzle? We are gonna drizzle this on top. finish up by sprinkling on the rest of those sliced green onions that we did earlier. All right. And of course, you could serve some crispy wontons with this for dipping. I have an assortment of, these are pita crisps and some other crackers. I have some pita bread that I cut into wedges just because I thought it'd be nice to have a different texture than all crispy. Or you could do veggies, carrot and celery sticks, things like that. They're all different kinds of things you could do with this, but give it a try. Let me know what you think, or if you have tried something like this before, leave us a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. But thanks for hanging out with me and chatting about this recipe and food and kitchen stuff. Like this video, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed yourself. And if you haven't already, subscribe. It's totally free and it helps out my channel. So please do that. And until next time, have a great day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.